Hello everyone, welcome back. This is schematic. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tonight's video is going to be about Grandmaster fishing, why it's so difficult, what's going on, and how do we get catches like that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these. So Grandmaster fishing, you're going to notice that there is a glow to these guys. There's also sparkles, and these are basically the types of catches that you're going to get that are going to produce the most difficulty. So how do we alleviate that? There's a number of different things, one being a fishing rod, and we'll talk about that. If you go ahead and do salvaging in this area, you will have a chance to find the Depresso Fishing Rod. Now this is one of the best fishing rods in the game that you can get simply by salvaging. You salvage using powerful fishing magnets coupled with whatever fishing rod you can get. You can even use the beginning level 15 fishing rod right there, and then at level 55 I believe is where, or I lied, 62 is where you get access to the powerful fishing magnets. Once you get those, in order to go ahead and fish up many of the different Grandmaster fishing spots, you also need a team. Now your team should consist of the following. So let's go ahead and take a look here. I got Ghangler simply for traversing the open waters faster to get to these different points. As you can see, this is how fast he is on the water. Yours may not be as fast because mine has Ace Swimmer on it as well as Runner. With that, we also have Gloopie. Now if we take a look at Gloopie's partner skill, while in the party, the capture gauge decreases 30% more slowly while the bars are not overlapping. So that means that whenever the green bar, as you saw in the beginning of the video, is not overlapped with the gold bar, then that means that it'll decrease 35% slower. Not only that, but we also have, we have Gelroy. Gelroy is going to be for salvaging. That's going to increase all of your salvaging by 95%. So it gives you an increased chance to pull those patterns. We also got Jelliot. Jelliot over here at 4 stars, remember all these are at 4 stars, will increase the items obtained from fishing by 95%. Why is this important if it's just concerning fishing loot? Well, we'll get to that in a moment. Whalaska over here, this is the one that you really need to pay attention to, because additionally, while the bars are overlapped, capture progress is increased by 14%. So that's 14% that you're going to get back while that fish was darting left and right. And of course, you're going to start off with 14% more of the capture gauge. So that means instead of starting right in the middle or a little off, I think it's like 33% of the capture rate, you're going to be starting with about 50 to 55%. And that's going to be good for you. And of course, while reeling in, you're going to get way more progress. So let's go ahead and talk about the reason why we're utilizing Jelliet and the increased fishing drops. Well, as you know, in the zone that you choose to fish in, the water and every fishing node that you encounter will correspond to the loot there. That means that if we go ahead and switch over here, zoom out, if you fish in these low level areas, your loot is going to be low level. If you fish down here in Faybreak, your loot is going to be of that technology tier. Now that means that since we're in the world tree, we're going to be getting stuff in this rarity, which is going to be level 70 plus. We could get schematics for heavy assault rifles. We could get schematics for armor. We could get fishing bait, as well as the components, all sorts of different types of things, including the ancient parts as well as pages. There's a number of different things. So we're going to go ahead and drop a line here, and in case you notice, like if you tried to fish these spots early in the game, they were extremely difficult. But with the setup, we're using deluxe bait, which increases the bar. And we just got to make sure that we get through this temper tantrum early on, and with those specific PAL buffs, they will help us. And then he has like this cooldown period, and then it just jumps right into as it gets closer to. We just got to make sure that we almost lost it there back in the beginning, but we're doing this all live. So with these Grandmaster fishing spots will give you a chance to get certain rainbow traits as well. And I haven't seen, but there we go. We've got some schematics already. And as you know, fishing is the best way to get schematics because they nerfed the drop rates for legendary patterns. I'm not kidding. I salvaged all of my parts for my laser rifle back in the Sakurajima waterways. And that's pretty much the route they're going nowadays because they took away legendary patterns from open world boss. As we go back to the overworld here, as you can see, many of these bosses used to drop legendary patterns, and you used to be able to take these captured bosses back to your base and butcher them for a second chance at rolling at that low percentage loot. I believe Blazamut was the one that dropped with a 3% chance the legendary assault rifle. That has been nerfed, and of course his location used to be over here by the Scorp's Obsidian watchtower. But now he resides over here on this side of the mountain, right across from my base. He's actually my neighbor. But with that, guys, the loot table will be reflective of the waters and the zone that you fish in. So that means that in order to get up here in the world tree, you're going to have to do a whole lot of climbing. So I recommend that you get yourself a grappling hook and get up to these tough to reach spots and do all your fishing. You will get lots and lots of gold. So this is just off of one of these fishing holes earlier on, and of course you can see everything that I've collected so far except for that. All of this stuff here is just off of like 5 fishing holes. So you're gonna collect a lot of different things, and especially being up here in the world tree, I'm gonna have access to the decayed relics and yeah, all the schematics and all that good stuff. So with that, I hope that this video helped you out. And again, the bait that I'm using is going to be the alluring bait. Increase the number of items obtained from fishing upon Jelliet's ability to increase the loot even further, and of course secured in the fishing. So with that, I hope that this taught you something. Check out my other guides, like, subscribe, comment. But thank you guys very much for your time. We'll see you all in the next one. Have a good night. Bye bye.